Fuck it. It's Friday night. Bolivar. Don't even know which one this is. It's the Bolivar. Can't remember. It's good though. Never had it. Apparently it's very strong, so it's quite strong. Feeling the rush. Haven't smoked a cigar in a while, so yeah. And also, someone's lost their cigar virginity. Yeah, cigar virginity. Yeah. What are you smoking?
What was it? It was the.
Oh fuck! What's it called? Monte Cristo.
No.
Yeah, Monte Cristo.
No. The Pollo de Monterey.
Oh, Monterey.
That's something. This.
What do you think? Review?
It's good. It's very chill. I like it.
We've got our cranberry and hibiscus tea.
Completely wrong.
What?
It was berry hibiscus.
Berry and hibiscus tea. Very light tea. I like my tea strong, but you know what? It will do. But yeah, V cuts only. I don't like straight. Gets the leaf in your mouth. Not nice. Real bad man. Yes, my people. Week 2 of documenting this life. Week 2, day. I don't know. It's Friday today, so whatever day that makes it, probably like 8 or something. So we're keeping it consistent with the posts. So this time I'm just going to be talking kind of how the week went. Maybe some other things if I've got anything else to talk about. Maybe it'll just spring into my head. I should probably, moving forward, actually kind of structure these a little bit better. But yeah, we'll just go with the flow. So, what's been happening? Well, back to the goatee first of all. I mean, this should just be about my beard and how my hair's going. That's what I should do the videos about. But yeah, back to the goatee. I'm liking it, feeling fresh, all good. Got a little razor burn on the neck, but it's all good. We'll survive. Agency wise, so it's been a lot of planning. I was actually really ill for one of the days, and also there was no water anywhere in my area, so yeah, that was good as well for 4 days. So yeah, I've just tried to make what I can, if that's how you say it. So yeah, so we have a shoot day tomorrow with one of our clients. I've been planning a bit of the shoot. I've gotten some pretty good ideas. I'm actually switching over to Miro for this. I'll just show you guys what I'm looking at. Yep, that's my tripod. So that's the Miro, little double screen action here. ChatGPT with a bit of Miro involved. It's good. So yeah, just got some ideas down. I think for this client, we're going more for putting more time into actually forming the ideas and making them look a little bit more premium and stuff like that. One thing I have realized is that it's actually really hard to think of content when the brand's clothing, if you would like to say, isn't super stand out. I'd say that's a big thing. If anyone watching this is deciding to start a clothing brand, use products where either it really makes obvious who would wear it. For example, if you look at Ralph Lauren, right? It's very, I'd say, old money sort of style. Not this, obviously. This is just my chill jumper, but quarter zips and all that type of stuff. You got to think about that. That kind of that customer. Your ideal customer profile is going to be someone who's probably a bit entrepreneurial, or they make good money and stuff like that. So it's quite easy to formulate ideas from that. If you're trying to think of a very versatile product, for example, something like a tracksuit, it might be harder to market, because there's so many people who can wear a tracksuit. So what kind of vibe, what kind of style are you going to go for, and you want to keep it consistent. So you obviously got a brand, color palette, and all those sorts of things. So I'd just say, if you're thinking of starting a clothing brand, make sure that if you are going for a versatile product, make sure it stands out, which doesn't really make any sense, but it has to stand out in some way. For example, I've seen people do windbreakers now, or like waterproof jackets where they change color. See, that's a standout product. It's very easy to market and it's easy to talk about because you can show that as the USP for your product, right? If you're just, going to do tracksuits and it just looks like a Nike tracksuit, in reality, whether the quality is better or whether you got a few more words on there, it's going to be a lot harder to market. I'll just put it straight, because when you're actually doing videos, you either have to you have to spend a lot of money to market. So, you can get some clean ads and all that type of stuff. It could work. However, it still doesn't stand out, like no one's really going to go for a name that they don't know. They're not going to buy from someone that they don't know if it hasn't got something that's, crazy different, for example, right? You can think of this like cars, right? Is anyone going to buy your car brand? Let's say you started a car brand today. Is anyone going to buy your car brand if it just looks like a normal Peugeot, for example, right? The answer is going to be no. If you have a car brand that, I don't know, the suspension moves when you want it to. For example, you press a button and then like it can just lift over traffic and stuff. People are going to want to buy that car because it's different, So when you look at these Chinese brands and what they're bringing to the table, well, they are beating everyone on price. Not only that, some of the car brands are actually a little bit different. For example, I don't know what the car brand is. Is it the Xiaomi one? The one that makes phones? Like, they have the quickest car now, quickest production car. Like, that's something that's very much stood out, to the mass market. People are interested, gets their name about. That's how you would market. So if you're thinking this with a clothing brand or any brand in general, if you're going for something that's been overused, you have to make it different. However, I would just stick to one niche, whether that's, more like Ralph Lauren or more like streetwear, or like skateboarding is the same thing. Can't think of any others. So I would just keep that in mind. If you're starting a clothing brand, keep that in mind. But yeah, as we're getting more clothing brand clients as well, I'm just thinking like clothing brands in general make good money. Obviously, if they do well, they actually make really good money because their profit margins are really, they're very good. You can buy a jumper or whatever from manufacturer for very cheap, and you can charge whatever someone's willing to pay. So you got brands like, I was looking at a brand called Peter Miller, right? Looks exactly like some Zara stuff or some Abercrombie and Fitch, right? They look very similar. However, this Peter Miller is charging £500 for something that you can get on Abercrombie and Fitch, if I'm saying it right, for £100, But obviously, they're making a lot more money on the product. They might be selling less, obviously, because there's a bit higher barrier to entry for their clients. But yeah, just made me think maybe as like a passion project on the side, I would just make clothes, but I would just make clothes that I would actually wear. So at least if I don't sell anything, at least I benefit of nice clothes for cheap. So yeah, anyway, that's the clothing brand talk. I mean, that's pretty much got nothing really to do with an agency. That's just a little bit of advice. But yeah, what's been going on the agency? So we've got a shoot day. Outreach was pretty good in the end. I don't know if I actually finished it when I last did the video, but we got, I believe, a 12% reply rate on cold DM outreach, which is pretty sick. So yeah, I mean, I have worked multiple hours and hours working on outreach, trying to improve it. Testing things and all of that type of stuff. So yeah, I feel like I've got it to a good spot. However, I've also been researching other, sort of methods of getting clients and stuff like that. And yeah, I came across like this interesting stat where it's like, on average, the outreach, cold outreach DM closes about 2%. So, which I mean, if you send 100 DMs, you can get 2 replies, right? But then it was talking about in-person sort of connections and stuff like that. And that one was like 40% reply rate or close rate or whatever it was. Like, so, I mean, obviously you can talk to a lot more people online than you can in person. However, I feel like when you meet someone in person, you build that trust straight away, and that's how you can kind of get these, clients that come quite easily if you've got a good network, if you can meet people in person. And you can also meet people in person that you can't meet online. So a lot of people are inaccessible online. And when it's in person, that's not the case. Everyone's going to reply to whatever you say. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's something that I'll probably get into as well. But yeah, other than that, I've just literally, like, when I was ill, I was just like breaking down some systems in the agency, trying to make things make a bit more sense. How can we get more money? How can we do shoots a little bit more productively? And yeah, stuff like that. So that's kind of what I've been working on within the agency. I have a few calls, see if we can close some more clients. I definitely feel like it's building up. So I've got like these list of clients that are interested, waiting to book calls on, I'm waiting to book calls on. And yeah, I'm just kind of waiting for that time for all of them to say yes. And I feel like it will happen in kind of quick succession, which is cool. So yeah, hopefully that goes through. And then I went to London on Friday, and I was doing the landing page in a co-working space, which was pretty shit. So if you know what WeWork is, don't go to something Great Chapel Street. Don't recommend it. It's pretty dead. The best one is the York Road one, to be honest. What is it called that? Dean Street. One of them. But yeah, anyway, I've been doing a landing page. It looks okay. I'm quite happy with it. Mine might like my MacBook, but yeah, it looks quite cool. I'm doing it on Card now. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have heard of Card. I mean, like, yeah, fuck if you're watching this first, but if you don't know about Card, you can create a landing page so easily, but it's too easy that you can't do anything, if that makes sense. So you have to actually create code and stuff like that. Anyway, it will look good. I think it will turn out quite nice. This code I'm actually quite impressed with. I feel like with other websites, their code, like, either ChatGPT doesn't understand like the language or whatever it is, or the web provider doesn't understand the language. It just never works. This one, ChatGPT has been spot on every single time. Just sends the code, I place the code in, bang, it's on my website. Looks good. So Scarface, by the way. GT2RS, hands down the best. I've had that for years. My favourite car. Anyway, that's off topic. I'm going to talk about a little bit something else other than the agency. Some systems that I've put in for myself that I think have improved my life and my days, right? To be a bit more productive, if you wish. So first of all, I'll start with one of them. When I go to sleep, I struggle with sleep. I used to have sleep apnea and all that type of stuff, right? So I do struggle to go to sleep. However, I can wake up if I need to wake up. So, I am very disciplined in that sense. However, if you're struggling with sleep and you might be like me, I have to watch something. And I used to watch, like, not the best stuff, not like that, but like I used to watch like just some bullshit on YouTube or some Twitch stream or Kick, whatever the fuck. I mean, like, sometimes it's okay. I'm not saying that, like, fuck, you can relax, right? But what I'm saying is it definitely made it harder for me to fall asleep because I was more focused because it was entertainment, right? However, when I listen to business stuff, so lectures, I've been seeing like lectures from like Stanford University, and one that I do like, this is a little gem if anybody knows about it, Fairs, if it's well known, Fairs, but I haven't heard anyone talk about it. Y Combinator. So this is I don't actually know what it is. It's something in Silicon Valley, and you'll see a lot of founders on there, like Sam Altman, OpenAI guy, talking about OpenAI like 7 years ago. And, I didn't know it existed 7 years ago. Like, fuck, I was 13. I didn't know anything about AI, I'm pretty sure no one did, right? I mean, the advances have been quite quickly uprising. So, yeah, he just talks about just loads of stuff that he's currently doing. And I think that's so powerful. Because that's when he was building his thing. I do believe he did build other businesses before and was already a millionaire at that point. But yeah, what I'm saying is it's really good because it's very open, it's very honest, and it's from a long time ago as well. So yeah, like access to people like Sam Altman now is probably impossible. I mean, I do know someone has done a podcast with him, but he's never going to be as open as he was back then because he was starting out back then. He was like 26, so he was pretty young. So yeah, I watch that. Helps me fall asleep. Also, I get some knowledge. So pretty sick. Sam Altman was saying that how he can be productive for only 8 hours a day, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. Like he can sit at a screen for 8 hours a day, and the guy he was talking to, who's also someone else in the Silicon Valley, I don't know his name, he said he can only work for 4 hours. So when you put that in perspective, people that say that they can work 16 hours straight, it's bullshitting. I see so many people on Twitter saying, oh, like, I drink so much caffeine, or I work 16 hours a day, go to sleep. They fucking don't. They are, if they're working, they're not doing it. They're not doing the right things. You can climb a ladder, but if it's on the wrong wall, then you're fucked, right? So anyone that says that, I just think you're full of shit. That's why I never say anything about, I'm working so hard, all this, that. The results just speak for themselves, right? It's, like Elon Musk. I mean, he says what he does, but he doesn't boast about working really hard. The results show for it. So, yeah, anyway, I'm fucking waffling, I'll be honest. But yeah, that's just one thing. And one more thing. I saw this on Andrew Huberman's podcast. He talked about how you can start your days and what's the best way to start your days. So I am no longer drinking caffeine within the first 90 minutes and not eating food within the first 90 minutes, no nicotine within the first 90 minutes of my day. I wake up early because I don't believe in waking up late. You have to wake up early. You cannot go against the system of the whole world. Everyone wakes up early. You have to wake up early. That's where the money is. There's not going to be any money at 4 a.m. I mean, you have to put that in perspective, but I'm saying consistently there's no money at 4 a.m. There's money at 9 a.m. There's money middle of the day. There's money at 3 p.m. That's when you work. That's when you put the work in. So none of that shit. I mean, I'm very good at waking up early. I wake up at about 7:30. I wouldn't say it's ridiculously early, but it's pretty early. And I go for a walk straight away. So I walk my dog 30 minutes, 20 minutes at least I do. And I think walking your dog is one of the best things that you can do almost in the whole world. Let me explain quickly and then I'll end the video. But this is huge. This is actually huge. Okay, so think about it like this. When you walk your dog, right, you're outside. And if you walk your dog in the morning before work, you're going to meet some pretty cool people, right? For example, I'll give my story. Someone that lives near me is actually he works in banking, okay? So he's in his 30s. He makes good money, right? And he has the same dog as me, actually. So the other day, 3 days ago, when I went walking, I actually walked with him, and we walked for 1 hour. And he told me so much about like how he got to where he was, and like all of these other things that I wouldn't get from that many people. This is almost like my Frankfurt story in the last video. But yeah, I just feel like walking your dog is just a net positive in every single way. You're walking, so you're getting exercise. If you're walking in the morning, you're doing that rapid eye movement thing, which helps you for the rest of the day. Huberman talks about it. Don't know the exact words, so don't quote me on that. But he does say it's very good because of all the shit that comes into your eyes and the light and circadian rhythm and all of that type of stuff, right? So yeah, exercise, wake up your brain. Walk the dog so your dog doesn't die. You can meet people, and it's so easy to talk to people because it's like going to car shows. If you go to a car show, you've got no issues on talking with talking to anyone because they have a car. They like cars. You know they like cars. So you can talk about cars. That's how you open up the conversation. Same exact thing with people walking their dog. They've got a dog, you've got a dog, you have something in common, you talk about it, and you keep talking, even walk with them, fuck it. And the conversation sparks, talk about this, talk about that, just like a normal conversation. That's like the best thing. So yeah, walking dog, net positive. Other than that, I don't do anything else. So I'm trying to get leaner, and that's about it, but it doesn't really matter. So yeah, anyway, that kind of wraps up the video. So yeah, documenting week 2. Hopefully you found some value. I think it was actually pretty good. Some really good tips in there, or gems, or whatever the fuck. I think that was great. So yeah, if anyone's actually fucking watching this, and if you've got any questions, just head to my Instagram, link in the bio. Check out our agency YouTube as well. Check out my Twitter, which I never post on as well. And yeah, I'll be back next week. So yeah, man.